What is going on, everybody? We are back. We are back after a long time. Like I say every video. But no, we're back. We're back with the S4. Where did we leave off? We got the motor pulled about a month or so ago. Maybe longer than that. Today, I'm gonna be trying something. I got this funny looking jack that can lift things in the air really high. I'd like to get this car up off the ground, and I'd like to get my bigger jack stands under there. That way we can go ahead and proceed with dropping both subframes and hopefully the rear differential, get the wheels off, that kind of thing. So let's just jump into it. Once we get under there and kind of see what's going on, I kind of want to share what I have in store for things that are moving forward. But we'll save the talking for then. Let's just jump into this. All right, there we go. Sorry, just trying to think. I think what I'm gonna do, we're gonna need to disconnect the steering from this main hub. Steering, probably I'm gonna pull the brakes off, speed sensor, do that on both sides. Obviously drop it out from the top there on the coilovers. Looks like we have two pieces for the sway bar here. Those seem to be pretty easy to get out. And then we'll drop the same on this side. And then after that, we should be good to get the jack back under there, get the subframe bolts that I just kind of have loosely tightened in there, and this should drop out. Is it gonna be that easy? Probably not, but just visually kind of looking at everything, I think that's what we need to do. So I will get to work on that, and let's see if we can get this done today. All right, tie rod is out. Just a quick helpful hint. I've never actually seen this posted anywhere, but I was sitting here trying to hammer this pinch bolt out for literally probably the last half hour, with the suspension sagging, unloaded. Came across a post on one of the forums. I mean, it's kind of common sense, but you know, for me, still trying to learn and everything, this was really helpful. Jacking up this hub basically to like the loaded position here, and I just gave it 2 taps and it came right out the back. So we're all set there. Next step, let's get this brake out. All right, so we got the brake system out of the way. Just have it supported here with the jack so we're not binding up the brake lines. This wheel bearing feels a little loose. I'm just gonna get the speed sensor out and drop the strut out of the top, and this side should be taken care of. We can move on to the next side. All right, driver's side done. We got the jack in place. I honestly think this thing's probably gonna, I don't know. It's pretty heavy on that end, so we're just gonna pull. There's a bolt in that corner, bolt in that corner, bolt in this corner, and if all goes to plan, this should start falling down. So let's see what happens. All right, boom, it's out. It was a little difficult, I think. Biggest thing that I'll remember next time I do something like this is hopefully get it a little higher up off the ground. I definitely tried, but yeah, we got the subframe out of the car. It's looking very bare in this engine bay, but doesn't look too bad. Definitely gonna give it a good power washing. You can see there's a pretty good layer of dirt on there. Once I get it all the way cleaned up, we'll see if it's gonna be necessary to give it a respray. I would like to. The bottom, if you're looking at the bottom, it's definitely, there was a couple spots where it bottomed out due to these old coilovers. Is that a zip tie? Yeah, there's a zip tie on there. But yeah, I think next video we will work on tearing this down completely. I think putting it back in the car might be a little bit easier to do piece by piece, at least the hubs. I think just with this being on the ground and not being able to lift the car out of the way, and then also not having a cart to put it on, I think if we end up leaving these outer control arms on the subframe, get it back in, and then just kind of bolt everything up and make sure we tighten it under the weight of the vehicle. But that's about it. I'm gonna go up and grab my computer. Just kind of want to talk over what I plan on doing on this front end. And then hopefully by the next video, we'll have some parts in hand and we can get started. Alrighty, figured we could do this in the cockpit of the beast here. So here we are. I have started this Word document just to kind of keep things in check. As you can see, I really only have the front end on here. Haven't even started to plan out the rear end, but I did do, I want to say, a good bit of research on what I'm putting into the suspension of this vehicle, just for what I'm going to be using it for. It's kind of going to be my car. I don't really know how to explain it. It's going to be my car that I beat on more often than not. Maybe get into some autocross, maybe get into some racing, maybe get, you know, just the car. You know, we have the RS3. It's a very expensive car to fix when things break. So just trying to go for something that I can kind of push to the limit and, you know, still kind of know how to fix it and it not be super expensive to fix it. So what we have here, and I guess all of that rambling really was to kind of say, if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comment section. I know people have been building S4s since before I had my driver's license. So if anyone has experience with any of these parts on here, like I said, I did do some research for what I have going into this build, but all suggestions, you know, if there's something that doesn't quite make sense on this list that you've tried in the past, you know, feel free to definitely let me know in the comments below. But just looking at the subframe from the outside, I was thinking we could do some bushings on it. I was thinking the aluminum press-in ones, we could get a press from Harbor Freight and just get some stiff bushings in there. From what I heard online, doesn't make too much of a crazy difference with vibration in the vehicle, but it seems to be a better long-term option. I'm gonna go with the Streetline motor mounts just because that, on the flip side, is something that I heard does kind of bump up the vibration in the car. And I will be, you know, taking this car on road trips, you know, hitting Wookiees in the Woods, Alpine Volks Fair, stuff like that. So I didn't really think it was super necessary to go further than Streetline motor mounts. If anybody has any other opinions or experience, you know, feel free, definitely let me know. Also the Streetline transmission mounts. Side note, I did have both of these in my S6 and I love them. It kept things pretty stiff, but that car was probably one of the most comfortable cars I've ever ridden in with those installed. Not that that made it the most comfortable car, but I didn't notice anything, you know, crazy out of the ordinary. I'm gonna decide to go with the 034 sway bar end links, control arms, the strut top mounts, everything there, just to kind of have a uniform look to it when the wheel's off. And obviously the performance of those parts are pretty good from what I've heard. It seems like something that you can kind of put in once and not have to worry about it if you're driving the car hard. I know the ones that they sell on FCP Euro are the heavy duty versions from the OEM spec, but this seems to be one step up. And if I don't have to be pulling pinch bolts out, you know, every 2-3 years, especially if we're going to be, you know, beating on this car, that'll be fantastic. Coilovers, this is a big one. Let me know what you're thinking, because this is probably what I spent the longest on. I even kind of went back through before I made this video just to, you know, see what people were thinking. It seems like the PSS 9s are the way to go for full form, you know, sportiness to flip back to comfortability. Obviously, you're not going to get anything close to the stock suspension as far as ride quality goes, but from what I've heard, when you have those dampeners all the way in comfort mode, it feels pretty good. And then on the flip side, you know, the car's on rails when you have it turned down all the way. So let me know what you guys are thinking. I know that's, you know, kind of on the higher end of pricing. I know you can go with some other ones that are between that $1,000 to $1,500 mark, but I feel like if you're gonna spend the money, if you're gonna be spending $1,000, you're gonna be spending $1,500. What's another $500 to make it perfect? But let me know what you're thinking. This is obviously my first B5. Wanted to go with an upgrade on the sway bar bushings. Now this is something, again, I would like some feedback on. From the sounds of it, you don't really want to touch much on the front, and you want to stiffen the rear. So that's what I've been reading with the way that this car has the engine out over, you know, the front axles, and you know, that whole argument and, you know, kind of negative side to these cars. I guess it helps to keep it pretty soft up front, tighten it up pretty good in the back with a stiffer bar and everything like that. So that's the plan. Let me know, you know, what you guys' experience have been. And then I think I'm just going to keep the stock brakes for now. It's as you can see with like the coilovers and everything like that, I think we're probably pushing close to $3,000 on the front end here. So, you know, if we were to go with a set of Porsche brakes, you know, you're probably pushing another $1,000. It would be nice that, you know, that's an easy thing to fix once the car's all the way back together and we, you know, actually have a drivetrain in the vehicle. But that's what I'm thinking, guys. So let me know what everybody else is thinking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Next video will be hopefully tearing this down, kind of addressing what we're gonna do moving forward, and hopefully we have at least some parts. I'm thinking we'll probably start with the subframe, work our way out. So if we could at least get the bushings and everything, get this subframe cleaned up, I think we'll be making some good progress. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Appreciate you following along with the journey here. Feel free to like, subscribe, do what you know, whatever you want to do. All right, see you guys.